When you come out here, when you get on that trail, the cell phone dies, the iPod dies, all the electronics die. When you come into camp, turn off the vehicle, everybody's sitting around a campfire, they're talking, they're sharing, they've got stories, they've got history. It is truly a magical place.
We just like to be here. This is our place, our space. It's not confused by any major highway or any traffic or a hotel and a sewer line and all television and cell phones and all.
I love the Rubicon Trail because of the scenery, the beauty, the atmosphere, the people. It's just a beautiful place to be and spend time. Anytime I can get out here to do whatever it is I can to enjoy the outdoors, I'm out here doing it, and I will do whatever it takes to protect that so future generations can enjoy it the same way that I have.
You look around and it's quite a beautiful place. I like coming out here to escape. It's an easy escape. I like just being out here and camping. I want to preserve the trail for my use, but I want to preserve it for everybody's use. I think it should stay open for everybody who wants to enjoy it.
Many times in the springtime, you've got the lake and the snow-capped mountains in the background. It's like walking into a postcard. It's just incredible.
I've been using this trail for many years. I first started using the trail in about 1972. For the first few years, I was only just an occasional traveler in here, and I just came in a few times. But for the last 20 years, I've lived on the trail.
Bought my first Jeep in '85, wanted to be able to get out, see what's in the outdoors, sort of get away from the public, do some camping thing, but have more of a mechanical challenge to it. It's just great to get out here, enjoy the outdoors, experience what we've got to enjoy out here.
Everybody's seen pretty pictures of Lake Tahoe. This is that pretty picture, but there's less people here. They tend not to know that much about it.
Coming up here in the high country on the Rubicon is just, it's a whole another place, and I just love it to death.
Hi, I'm Tim Green. For the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about a few of the things we can all do to protect this beautiful resource we call the Rubicon Trail. We as a community have to be responsible. We have to protect the environment to preserve the resource. Let's treat this crown jewel of a trail like it's our own backyard, and we'll all benefit for years to come. So to make this easy to remember, we've created the 4 S's: safety, spills, sedimentation, and sanitation. We've also created these useful colored bandanas to help us remember. Red for safety, blue for spills, green for sedimentation, yellow for sanitation. This way, whenever we see these colored bandanas or these colors, we can remember these simple guidelines. Let's start with safety.
This is Tom, a hard-working American who wants to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. In order to safely navigate the hazards of the great outdoors, Tom can now take what is called a 4x4 vehicle, an automobile with all 4 tires being powered by the engine, and climb any hill. Tom obeys all off-road vehicle signs since there aren't any, never drinks more than a 12-pack before camp, and, hey Tom, no need for that seatbelt. They haven't even been invented yet.
That was then, and this is now. It's a different time, it's a different place. Certain things we need to keep in mind. We need to be courteous with each other. We need to think about where we're camped, our location, who's around us, and be respectful. Maybe think about our noise level and what we're doing, our surroundings. A big consideration, firearms. We never want to shoot along the trail or in or around a camp. We need to keep an eye on that and think about it. Good job, Tim. Food. This is a big one. There's a lot of wild animals up here. We want to keep food in the appropriate area. We certainly don't want to go to bed with food. We don't want to go to bed smelling like food. Something we need to think about. Campfires. This is a big consideration. It's really, really dry up here. We got to think about what we're doing in and around fire. Permits are required.
We've got ours.
That permit is required for this stove and for this campfire. We got to think about current fire restrictions. We can find signage on the way up to the trail. We can also find out on websites. So we really, really need to be aware of what we're doing around the fire, with the fire. Remember, it's dry. Vehicles on the trail. A few things to consider. First and foremost, never travel alone. You want to have another vehicle with you. That way you guys get in trouble, you get stuck, you can help each other out. Seat belts, huge. Always buckle up, passengers included. I personally won't move my vehicle unless these seat belts are on. First aid kit. Very important thing to have. Simple cuts and bruises, you can take care of it with this. Always carry one. Communications. This is a ham radio. We can use this to reach out, get help, things of that nature. Simple test, you can get your license. Great tool to have. CB radio, also a good tool to have. Doesn't work as good as a ham, but it can get you out of a sticky situation. Our gear, we got to think about this. We want to keep things covered, tied down. We get in a rollover or a lean, things can fly out of here like a projectile, really hurt somebody real quick. So let's keep it strapped down. Fire extinguisher, engine fires, things of that nature. This will put it out. We need to have one of these. Last but not least, we've got to remember, let's keep the alcohol out of the vehicles. Let's do this back at camp. All state laws apply. Whenever we're on a difficult section of trail, it's always a good idea to use a spotter. Let's let somebody help us out. Let's take our time with it. This way, this will prevent breakages, get us out of the spot safely. If we do have to start winching, let's make sure that we use a tree strap and have our recovery gear available for us. The tree strap will help to prevent resource damage and keep things the way they need to be. We want to remember on the trail, let's keep it low and slow. This will keep us safe. This will get us where we need to be safely and in one piece. Let's remember, if we run into bikers, horses, pedestrians, let's give them the right of way. Let's be patient. Let's take our time, be courteous. If we run into a fellow wheeler that's broke down, let's help them out. Let's work together. Let's keep it together. That way we all go home safe.
Occasionally accidents happen. Rocks get in the way. The smart sportsman is always ready with an ample supply of gas as well as assorted liquids and lubricants necessary to spend the day enjoying nature. And there's so much of it to enjoy, no need to clean up your messes. Hey, careful, Tom. That ethyl costs 29 cents a gallon. Well, no harm done. That oil came from the ground. You're just putting it back.
Well, sometimes things don't work out. Every rig is going to need repairing every once in a while. And there's a few things we need to keep in mind when we're doing that, when we're working on a vehicle on the trail. When we're done with it, let's check it over again for leaks. Let's check the ground for spills. Let's make sure we're all cleaned up and good to go. A few things we need to keep in mind before we leave for the trail. Let's always perform our pre-trip maintenance. And remember, if it leaks, leave it at home. Number two, let's tread lightly. Let's be aware of our trail, keep it clean. While we're on the trail, while we're running the trail, let's perform leak inspections while we're there, during it, especially after a hit. The creeks and the streams, they all feed our water source. Let's keep the oil out of the water and keep our resource clean. Spills happen. We have spill kits available. They're available at the Loon Lake kiosk. Nice little package, 2 absorbent pads, some information about the trail, a handy little funnel. If we do have a spill, and they do happen, we can use those absorbent pads, clean it up, get it off the trail, bring it out. You can now get rid of it. What do we do with this? There's a convenient hazardous waste shed right here at the Loon Lake kiosk area. We can take our hazardous waste, our pad, simply pop it in our shed. The oil's in here, it's not on the trail.
Ah, wilderness. It's great to be out where a man can get back in touch with his primitive being and really be at one with his environment and appreciate the flora and fauna this wilderness paradise has to offer. If wilderness wasn't there to be conquered, it wouldn't be called wilderness. Don't worry, Tom, it'll grow back.
We're all here to enjoy ourselves and have fun, but we've got to remember to work together to protect this beautiful resource we call the Rubicon Trail. A few things we can do. Let's air down our tires, minimize wheel spin, and help us with traction. Let's straddle ruts and gullies and washouts. Keep these areas nice. Never create new bypasses, never drive over vegetation, and never drive through meadows. Let's always cross our streams at designated points. We can look for trail markers. We need to try and stay within 25 feet of the established trail. If we all work together, we can protect this beautiful resource.
While spending a long day out in the wilderness can be fun and enjoyable for the entire family, it does have its drawbacks. Getting away from it all also means escaping such modern-day conveniences as electricity and plumbing. Ironically, it's when nature calls that we realize the importance of man's genius and technology. Luckily, nature has provided Tom with a myriad of toilet possibilities. After all, there are thousands of square miles out here. Who's going to know? Don't worry, Tom, we won't tell.
So let's get serious about this. I was just visiting my friend at the river, fishing, and we found this down there. You can see this has been around for a long, long time. In fact, Tom probably left it here. Point being, pack it in, pack it out. This stuff will stick around for a long time, and we don't need it here. Let's talk about white flowers. This toilet paper is not taken care of. We need to get rid of it, and that's what we're gonna do. We have a simple human waste system here. What we really have is a 5-gallon bucket with a toilet seat on it and a kit. You can pick these things up at most outdoor fitters, places of that nature. How does it work? Well, basically inside of this kit, we have a large bag that fits inside of our 5-gallon bucket. When you're done, use a little chemical additive. It'll turn anything in here into a non-biohazard. You can then dispose of this in any trash receptacle and it's done. This is a great way to take care of this problem. Red for safety, blue for spills, green for sedimentation, and yellow for sanitation. If we can all follow these simple guidelines, we'll continue to improve the Rubicon Trail. I know I've just rattled off a whole bunch of information, but if we can all follow these simple guidelines, the Rubicon Trail will remain pristine and available for generations to come. The Rubicon Trail is in your hands.